I think MichiganWorks is the best kept secret here in the state of Michigan.
It's actually worked quite well for us. They do a nice screening and get us the type of worker that we're looking for.
The enthusiasm of all the people that are involved in the project, because they could see the benefit that we were going to be able to receive once we were able to implement this system.
I think SEMCA represents the best in government spending because they take unemployed families and provide them careers.
I think there's a misconception, in fact I know there's a misconception that a lot of people think that MichiganWorks is unemployment, and we're not unemployment. We are a full service program that's available to job seekers and employers.
As part of this computer implementation, there was a lot of training. It was a completely new system that we had to implement, and we had heard that there were ways that we could get a grant to at least fund the training part of that project, and that's how SEMCA was able to help us. We initially went through the Michigan Department of Labor, but it would be a year before we could get any funding through them. So then our second choice, we went to SEMCA, and they were very helpful, very quick to respond to our needs, that we were able to start our training right away.
Job seekers have to look at themselves with a much more entrepreneurial spirit. They have to say, I'm going to put my time in, I'm going to work very, very hard, I'm going to come up with suggestions, I'm going to wear multiple hats. It's a competitive landscape, and I'm going to do everything that it takes by education, by other necessary things to make myself, one of those types of employees that the employer just cannot let go. And I think that's important, and these are the types of services that MichiganWorks helped to instill in the job seeker to make them a much more competitive individual out there in the job market.
There's a stipend that comes with some of the workers that have gone through a series of training programs through MichiganWorks, which offsets some of the learning curve costs that we incur.
What's important about MichiganWorks today as opposed to years ago is that employers are looking for competent people. They're looking for the ability to get information quickly, and the service is not an extra cost to the employer.
So you talk about zero turnover in 2010, and you talk about a 10-year savings of $2.5 million, and no upfront cost in the partnership, and no back-end cost. It just seems like a no-brainer to me.
An example of an employer who heard about MichiganWorks. He didn't think much about it. Again, he was never in a MichiganWorks office. So in terms of this employer, he thought that we were an unemployment agency, and you may have a couple of dusty computers sitting around, and that he really wouldn't get the type of help that he was expecting. 3 months down the road, we were able to get him fully staffed with individuals that had the skill sets that he was looking for.
After we saw our first few resumes and had our first few interviews with the people from MichiganWorks, we were pleasantly surprised on their quality.
They understand exactly what we do. They understand, the lifetime background investigation. They understand the extensive, drug testing. But more importantly is they understand our family that we have here. So Linda, who does pre-screening for us, she's not going to put somebody through that process that doesn't fit with a team that already works. So to us, that's a partnership and not a service or not a vendor.
When you're talking about business, it runs at light speed. So the employer needs a way of identifying possible candidates quickly, again, candidates that have the skill sets that they require, and we can do that for the employer. If I had the opportunity to speak to the legislator, what I would say is that MichiganWorks is a vital program to the business community and the job seeker community. We have many programs out here that are laser focused on what is needed in the job market, from the standpoint of what employers are looking for, from the standpoint of what a job seeker is looking for.
They understood the urgency of us wanting to start this project, and they are very helpful in getting it through their system to get our application approved so that we could start the training with the funding money that they were willing to offer us. Once we got into it, there was a lot of follow-up from them, asking how things were going, which was a little bit surprising that you'd think after we kind of got all the paperwork done that we would have been off on our own, but they were following up with us every couple of weeks just to see how the project was going, to make sure that it was going okay.
I think because of our success, the first place we'll look will be MichiganWorks and or the Michigan Job Bank, because we've utilized that as well. And that's been successful for us.
SEMCA today is a great deal all the way around. So it provides a great career for unemployed families, as well as it provides a tremendous workforce for businesses at no cost.
We are a one-stop shop. This is what we're called, a one-stop shop. An employer or job seeker can find anything that he or she is looking for here at MichiganWorks. And to limit MichiganWorks from fully doing the things that they do out here, you're actually hurting both the job seeker and the employer. So I would say to the legislator, Mr. Legislator, Mrs. Legislator, don't cut MichiganWorks. We do a good job here.